speaking on the way these things are built, we don't know about how much it costs to build the Xbox One, but we've made some predictions in the past, some assumptions, if you will, and about the price and the cost and who's making what and things like that. And we now know what it costs Sony to make the PlayStation 4. And it cost them $381 to build, according to someone tearing it down and kind of breaking down each piece and really digging into what it costs for every component and put it together and labor. And it cost them about $381 to build, which is $18 under retail price. I genuinely believed that because the price of the Xbox and the way that the PlayStation fell, that they were going to lose a few dollars. Very few. I mean, I'm talking less than $10 on every console.
I agree. I thought the same thing.
And I thought that Microsoft was staging themselves to make a few dollars on every console, considering the Kinect being in the box.
Right.
Now we know that the PlayStation 4 is about $30 less than we anticipated. So does that mean Xbox is making a substantial amount of money on this thing?
Substantial? No. They're making.
Do you think they're
money.
making $20-$25 on every unit, on every console sold?
On every, actually, I would put it probably. I mean, a few dollars higher than that.
If PlayStation's making $18 per console, and I read this whole thing, the controller, everything considered, they're making $18 a pop. You think that? I mean, they just made $18 million in a day, which is fucking awesome. But if you think about the Xbox, like, just imagine that amount of money.
That's so ridiculous.
If you think about the Xbox, and that's, of course, you got to take into consideration the research and development, the quality testing, the labor that goes into these things. I mean, they probably, at the end of the day, they probably are losing a little bit of money.
Yeah, but that's the long game that we talk about.
That's the long game. But as far as sheer hardware, that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to take all that other stuff into consideration, because
just what you're selling somebody and what they're buying from.
The sheer hardware. I think that Xbox is making about $30 a piece, which is nuts.
I would think that, and god damn if this isn't some speculatory nonsense.
It is. It
I
really
would think
is.
that what they would do as just a point of reference was say, we want to make about 10% of the sale of this console profit. You see what I'm saying?
And that'd probably be what they would need to make back, just to break even on the
just
R&D
as a point. I'm
stuff.
saying, give or take, they were probably thinking like, as we build the hardware, we design it, we crunch all the numbers. We're hoping to hit around 10% is like that's 10% of each console sold is a profit. You understand what I'm saying? So they get closer to $50. You understand?
That's a lot. Yeah.
That's what I would think.
I think they're trying to make 5 to 7%.
Yeah.
I think they got about a 5%, 7% margin. But one thing that kind of bugs me, I was setting up my Xbox One last night, of course. I was plugging my headset in. I was doing everything, getting it all running. And on my headset, I got the Turtle Beach Air Force XB7s. Mm-hmm. On my headset, it's got this little button that turns red when it's not active, and you press it, turns white when it's active. It's a Dolby Digital Surround Support button. Mm-hmm. You click it turns on. I clicked it, and the entire audio shut off. And
Denied, son.
I was like, what the hell's going on? So I hit it again and basically turned Dolby Digital back off, and it worked again. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I look into it, and Xbox One lacks Dolby Digital support at launch.
Will you please tell me what in the fuck?
Who missed the boat?
What were they thinking? Who
They
made
weren't.
that decision? Who flipped that switch? Son of a bitches.
Fucking Nelson, that guy.
Dolby Digital surround sound? You selling a console that is promising this high fidelity
and Blu-ray,
high end experience, and you mean to tell me that the sound isn't in Dolby Digital surround sound?
It's got DTS surround sound. So I went went into settings, right? So I'm thinking, all right, I got to set some settings on and everything like that. So I go into settings, and I jump in there, and I see my optical out, which is what uses the headphones, is set to stereo, and I'm like, I can't be hearing people behind me on my headphones if I ain't in 5 or 7.1, So now I go in there, and it's got DTS support, so I turn that on. Headset won't work. Headset don't support that shit.
Right.
Headset wants to support Dolby Digital.
Right.
Well, everything fucking supports that at this point, and that was disconcerting. I'm like, how long is it going to be before they get Dolby support out there? Because that is something that a lot of things are going to use.
I think, did they just run out of time to polish all the features? And rather than stick them out there kind of broken and half-assed, they said, we'll just kind of roll them out as the opening months go by.
But what about those people who are not connected to the internet?
Fuck those people. That's what they pretty much said, right?
Yeah, well, they said that a long time ago, but they just kind of flipped that switch so they could just sell units basically. But I mean, that's disconcerting, and I hope they get that sorted out really soon, because I need my surround sound in my headset to sound horror in Call of Duty.
It sounds ridiculous, but it's important to me too. Like, I think that the sound quality of things is paramount to your experience.
Exactly.
You playing these games where these developers build these elaborate experiences, and then you're in stereo and you go, what is this cardboard nonsense?
What's going on here?
Yeah, right? Think about that. How do the developers feel? How do they feel about, they built this into their experience, obviously, and now people are
So
here.
I wonder if launch games are trying to support Dolby Digital, and the console itself doesn't support
That's
Dolby
what I'm
Digital.
saying,
Like
just-
Rise. What if? I mean, not that the game's any good, but what if? What if it tries to support Dolby Digital, and that's a piece of the experience that people are missing? Some people may not even know it.
Yeah.
Most people may not even notice it. But when you're talking about a game that's coming in at such high fidelity, I mean, it's Crytek. Crytek has been known for their, visual fidelity, and just the graphics have been through the roof. They're who they are because of Crysis. And how many years the question was always posed, how does it run Crysis? When you talk about a computer,
that signature engine, the Crytek engine, that just really makes them famous. But dude,
the thing is, they never come out with gameplay that's compelling.
You made a good point just now, though, about the Dolby Digital and the game trying to support it and people not knowing. Like, how many people, if it wasn't for good podcasts like this one right here, giving you the straight up news, a lot of people would just be playing it through their TV and be like, wait, what? I don't have Dolby Digital? I give zero fucks. I don't care.
I give zero
whatever. Right? Is it true though?
Probably a lot.
Do you think that they banked on that? They were like, look, we got to get this console out. Like, we'll just put the surround sound in after the fact.
That's not cool.
I don't think it's cool.
Doesn't
that sound like the situation?
Yes, absolutely. Without question, yes. I think that they just said, well, people probably not going to notice. And that's what it is. You're going to get to some news out there. You're going to get the people who live in that bubble, and they're going to know about it. But other than that, most people not going to notice. And even if they did notice, they're probably not going to give a fuck.
Let's kick them while they're down real quick. Also, no Twitch streaming. No streaming to Twitch at launch. A major feature that they were they were championing this. We'll be the people to stream to Twitch. Not happening.
Yeah.
PS4, streaming to Twitch all day. The NFL, not ready. They don't have the NFL app up and running, which is a major selling point.
Wait, did you try to download it? Because I saw it on there.
Yeah, it's on there, but the functionality for fantasy is not there yet.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Which, I guess the fantasy season's already underway.
Well, that's one of the things that really got people hyped about it.
It's a commercial right now. They're selling that to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's so ridiculous.
That's awesome.
But they're not saying, like, by the way, if you buy it right now, it's not included. They don't even have one of them little fast voices at the end of the commercial.
Not supported at launch. That's awesome.
And, there's other shit that's going to escape me right now, but, it's weird that it's just weird. I don't really like that at all.